the third techniques of integration is the integration of some trigonometric integrals. So, sa page 34 ito ng handouts ninyo. So, sa third technique of integration is may tatlong form tayo na i-consider. The first form is the integral of sine m u and the cosine u, sine u raised to m and cosine u raised to n du. Ibig sabihin, ang exponent dito na sine is si m and then exponent din ni cosine is si n. Okay. And then sa form 2 naman, the integral of tangent u raised to m and then secant u raised to n du. And then the last form is the integral of cotangent u raised to m and then the cosecant u raised to n du. Ibig sabihin, ang tatandaan nyo lang sa bawat form is sa form 1 partners is si sine and cosine. Si form 2 naman is si tangent and cosecant. Then sa form 3 is si cotangent and cosecant. Okay. Sa form 1, we have two cases that we need to consider. The first case is, sa first case naman classes, may dalawang condition tayo na i-consider din. Okay, sa case 1 ng form 1, either m or n is a positive integer. Ibig sabihin nun, kailangan yung exponent ni sine and cosine is positive integer dapat. So, saka ninyo masasabi na form 1 siya nag-satisfy. Okay, the first condition sa case 1 is if m is odd number, ibig sabihin nun, yung exponent ni sine is odd number, si m is an odd number. If a factor out daw natin is si sine u du, ibig sabihin lang ng condition 1 sa case 1, if nakita ninyo na yung exponent ni sine is an odd number, ibig sabihin is babawasan nyo lang ng isa is yung si sine. Babawasan ninyo ng isang factor si sine and then after that, yung remaining na sine function, kasi di ba add nga yun, and then pag nabawasan na ng isa, let's say sine cube, pag binawasan si sine cube ng isa, sine squared na lang. So yung remaining na sine function na naging even na yung power niya is i-change natin siya into cosine identity. A cosine function using the identity sine squared is equal to 1 minus cosine squared u. Ibig sabihin, ito yung gagamitin natin na formula na identity if ever man na ang naging odd number is yung exponent ni sine. Okay, if m is odd, factor out sine u du. Ibig sabihin nun, babawasan natin ng isang sine if ang exponent ni sine is an odd number. And then yung remaining na sine function na even na yung power niya, ito yung i-replace natin, si 1 minus cosine squared u. Depende sa given na triangle. Kasi ang given dito na triangle is the variable u. Okay, sa case 2 naman, if n is odd, ibig sabihin yung exponent ni cosine naging odd na siya, yung exponent ni cosine. Kasi di ba ang sabi sa case 1, either sa dalawa, either kay m or n is a positive integer. Okay. And then, sa case, condition 2 naman ng case 1 is, pag naging n is yung odd, pag naging odd is yung n rather, pa-factor out tayo doon sa cosine. Ibig sabihin, doon tayo magbabawas kay cosine ng isa. And then, yung remaining na cosine function of even powers is i-change natin siya using the sign identity na cosine squared u is equal to 1 minus cosine squared u. Okay, sa condition 2 ng case 1, eto yung ipapalit natin kay cosine, si 1 minus sine squared u. Kapag sa first condition naman, kapag doon tayo nag-factor out kay sine, eto din yung gagamitin natin na formula. For example, sa form 1, integral of sine 2x raised to 5 and cosine 2x raised to 4 dx. So, di ba sa case 1, remember, sa case 1 ng form 1 is either m or n is a positive integer and then yung conditions na dalawa sa case 1 is lahat sila add. So, ang first na gagawin natin is tingnan natin kung ano yung exponent ni sine and cosine. So, since ang exponent ni sine is an odd number that is equal to 5, diba? And then exponent of cosine is 4 that is an even. So, ibig sabihin, hindi ito nag-satisfy doon sa condition hindi ito nagsatisfy doon sa condition 1 or 2. Ang nagsatisfy lang is si sin 2x. Okay. So, ibig sabihin nun, dito tayo magbabawas ng isa kay sin 2x. Okay. So, ang mangyayari is, since dito tayo magbabawas or magpa-factor out kay sin, so we have the integral of sin 2x times sin 2x raised to 4 na siya, times cosine 2x raised to 4 dx. Okay, so eto class, eto yung finactor out natin. Ibig sabihin, eto yung binawas natin. Magbabawas lang tayo ng isa dito. So, kumbaga, 5 minus 1, so 5 minus 1, that is equal to 4. So, di ba 4 na lang yung natira, and then eto yung binawas natin. So, para mas hindi tayo malito, unahin nating isulat is yung binawas natin na term. Okay, so eto yung binawas natin, eto yung remaining. Kasi pag kinuha natin yung product nito, pabalik tayo dito sa original natin na given as sin 2x raised to the power of 5. And then si cosine 2x raised to 4 is as is yan. Hindi nyo yan gagalawin kasi hindi man ito yung nag-satisfy sa condition doon sa case 1. Okay, so after ninyong ma-factor out, ibig sabihin after ninyong mabawasan ng isa yung term na nag-satisfy doon sa condition natin is yung remaining na sign na even na yung power niya. So, di ba ito yung remaining na sign function. And then, yung naging power na niya or exponent na niya is even number, is gagamitin natin yung identity. Okay. So, since 4 ito, pero yung given kasi na identity is, di ba ganito? Sin squared u is equal to 1 minus cosine squared u. So, ang exponent is 2. So, since 4 is divisible by 2, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as sin 2x squared quantity squared. So, eto, parehas lang dito. Kaya ko in-express na ganito kay para magamit natin to. Okay. And then, si cosine 2x raised to 4 is, bring down lang natin yan. Okay. Eto siya is equivalent lang dito. And then, since eto, na-express na natin siya in terms of, ang exponent na niya is 2, so pwede na natin itong ipalit. So, ibig sabihin, sin 2x, eto siya, and then si sin squared 2x, eto siya is, pinalitan na siya ng 1 minus cosine squared 2x. Kasi di ba yun man yung sabi sa condition 1? After ninyong mag-factor out, yung remaining na sign even function is papalitan siya ng identity. So, eto, sin squared 2x is equivalent to 1 minus cosine squared 2x. The same dito sa identity na to. So, eto yung given kanina. And then, si cosine is the same pa rin as is. Okay? And then, after that class, may squared dito kasi di ba may squared man doon. Okay, and then after that, yung pinalitan ninyo ng identity, di ba ito yung pinalitan natin ng identity is, yung trigonometric function doon is yun yung ililet natin as variable u para ma-integrate natin tong integrand na to. Okay, so ito yung ililet natin na u, hindi kasama yung exponent niya. Ang kasali lang is, ang ililet nyo lang na u is yung trigonometric function. Okay, so let u is equal to cosine 2x, dito galing. Ito yung gilat natin na u ha. Okay, ito yung gilat natin na u. Okay, so let u is equal to cosine 2x, hindi kasama si exponent na 2. And then the derivative of cosine 2x is the negative sine 2x. Kasi diba derivative of cosine is sine. So since ang angle natin is 2x, and then times yung derivative ni 2x, that is equal to 2. So, that's why naging negative 2 sine 2x dx. So, divided both sides by negative 2. So, we have d over the negative 2 is equal to sine 2x dx na lang. Okay. So, eto. So, di ba hanggang dito tayo kanina? So, eto, i-rearrange lang natin ha. Unahin ko lang tong isulat dito. Next ko si cosine, and then i-last natin si sine 2x at saka si dx. So, eto siya. Ini-rearrange sa akin buhaya. So, after that, na-rearrange na natin, pwede na tayong magpalit ng variable u. So, si 1, di ba, 1 pa rin yan. Hindi natin yan binago. Okay, si cosine, di ba ito yung gilat natin kanina na u. So, si cosine, papalitan natin siya ng variable u. Yang 2 na yan, galing yan dito, galing doon. And then, si cosine 2x, gilat din natin yan na u. And then, since yung exponent niya is 4, so that's why naging 4. And then, si sine 2x dx, siya yung naging du over negative 2 natin. So, that's why Eto siya, eto naman yan, and then eto yung 1 minus u squared quantity squared. And then after that, pwede na tayong i-factor out or ilabas si a constant na negative 1/2. So we have negative 1/2. Integral of, eto i-expand natin. Take note class, hindi nyo pwedeng i-distribute dito agad si u to the 4 kapag may exponent dito na hindi equals to 1 ha. Okay, so ibig sabihin nito, expand muna natin. So ang product niya using the FOIL method, we have 1 minus 2u squared plus u to the 4. FOIL method or vertical method will do. And then u to the 4 is eto siya. And then du is du na lang. Kasi diba finactor out natin dito si negative 1/2. So nandito na siya sa labas ng integral sign. So we have the integral of negative 1/2 times negative 1/2 times the integral of, pwede na natin i-distribute dito si u to the 4 kasi naging 1 naman yung exponent niya dito. So u to the 4 times 1, u to the 4. u to the 4 times negative 2u squared is negative 2u raised to the power of 6. And u to the 4 times u to the 4 is u to the power of 8. So mas madali na itong ma-integrate. So after that, integrate natin siya by the usual integration. Just simply add 1 to the exponent and then bring it down to the denominator. So u to the 4 plus 1, u to the 5 over 5, u to the 6 plus 1 is u to the 7 over 7 plus u to the power of 8 plus 1 is u to the 9 over 9 plus the constant c. Okay? So, and then after, kailangan sa final answer, ibalik natin yan into in terms of the trigonometric function. So, since ang gilat natin kanina na u is cosine 2x, so eto, si u, replace natin siya ng cosine 2x, and then since 5 na yung naging exponent dito, ibig sabihin 5 na din yung magiging exponent dito. Katulad din dito, si u, replace it by cosine 2x, and then since 7 na din yung magiging exponent. Tapos, u to the 9, we have cosine 2x raised to the power of 9 over 9 plus the constant c. May constant c dito, hindi lang nagkasya. And then, distribute natin dito si negative 1/2. So, times. So, negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. 2 times 5 is 10. Just copy the cosine 2x raised to 5. Same with the second term. This one is naging positive 1 over 7 na kasi negative times negative is positive. And then, cancel out si 1. So, we'll si 2 rather. And then, we have 1 over 7. And then, this one is magiging negative 1 over 18 kasi 2 times 9 plus the constancy. So, therefore, this is the integral of sine sine 2x raised to the power of 5 times cosine 2x raised to the power of 4 dx. Sa number 2 na example, ang given is sine 2x sine x squared cosine x cube dx. So, ang m natin or exponent ni sine is equal to 2. That is an even number. So, ibig sabihin hindi siya nag-satisfy doon sa conditions doon sa case 1, sa form 1. And then, si cosine naman, ang exponent niya is 3. So, 3 is an odd number. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung nag-satisfy. So, which means, or it implies that dito tayo magpa-factor out or magbabawas ng factor. Okay, so ang mangyayari is, si sine squared x is sine squared x pa rin yan. And then, si cosine x cube dx. Ang mangyayari is magpa-factor out tayo. Ibig sabihin, babawasan natin to ng isa. So, ang mangyayari is, kung binawasan natin si 3 ng isa, ilan na lang matitira, di ba? Dalawa. So, ibig sabihin, eto yung binawas natin, and then eto yung remaining. So, cosine squared x. And then, after ninyong mag-factor out, yung remaining daw na cosine function na even na yung power niya is, i-change natin into in terms of sign using the identity function. Okay, so ang equivalent nito, okay, so bring down ko lang si sine x squared, eto siya, and then si cosine x, eto pa rin siya, and then si cosine x squared is pinalitan na siya using the identity 1 minus sine squared x. Okay, and then after that, after ninyong mapalitan yung remaining na trigonometric function na even yung powers is yun yung ililet ninyo na u, or doon kayo makukuha ng ililet ninyo na u, yung trigonometric lang alone, hindi kasama yung exponent niya. So, ang mangyayari is let u is equal to sine x. Kasi di ba 1 minus sine x squared, hindi natin isasama si squared. So, sine x lang ililet natin na u, and then derivative ni sine is cosine x, and then dx. Ibig sabihin, ang mangyayari dito is, i-rearrange lang natin. So, we have sine squared x, 1 minus sine squared x, cosine x, dx. Piyakaw na kanaya saya si, and then piyakaw riyakan si cosine x dx. So, we have, eto, that is u, diba? Since may exponent na to, so we have u squared times 1 minus u squared pa rin kasi ang gilaat lang natin na u is si sine. And then si cosine x dx, yan yung papalitan natin ng du. So, we have the integral of u squared minus u to the power of 4 because u squared times 1 is u squared. U squared times the negative u squared is negative u to the power of 4. So, pwede kayong mag-distribute dito agad kasi ang exponent nito is 1. So, du. So, ibig sabihin, eto na yung i-integrate ninyo. So, kayo na yung bahala. Proceed tayo sa case 2 ng form 1. Ang form 1, remember class, the integral of sine u raised to m and then cosine u raised to n du. So, sa case 2 niya, di ba kanina sa case 1 is even, add numbers, dapat yung exponent, it's either kay m or n. Dito sa case 2, kailangan both m and n are positive even integers. So, remember, sa case 2, kailangan both si m and n are positive integers or 0. So, ibig sabihin na, so given tano saya sa case 2 na kailangan na langon positive even integers so exponent ti sine agus si cosine or kapakaya so isa kiran na 0. Ibig sabihin nun na isa lang yung given na trigonometric pero ang exponent niya is an even number. Okay, so ang condition din dito sa case 2 is lower the degree or powers of sine and cosine using the half angle formulas. Kanina kasi ang ginamit natin is the identity function sine squared u plus cosine squared u is equal to 1. Sa case 1 yun. And then sa case 2 is the half angle formula. So we have the half angle formula of sine squared u is equal to 1 minus cosine 2 times u over 2. And then the other one is the cosine squared u is equal to 1 plus the cosine of 2 times u over 2. So, for example, integral of sine 2x quantity squared times cosine 2x quantity squared dx, or pwede din nating basahin as sine squared 2x and cosine squared 2x dx. So, remember, sa case 2 is both m and n are positive even integers or 0. So, kailangan lahat even yung exponent nila or isa sa kanila is 0 yung exponent. Or yung isa is even, yung isa is 0. So, yun yung sa case 2. Okay, dito sa given natin sa number 3 is lahat even number. Kay m, ang m natin is equal to 2. That is an even number. And also the exponent of the cosine n is equal to 2. So, that is an even number also. So, using the half angle formula, okay lang so yung example natin sa number 3 kasi diretso na yung exponent natin dito ni sine at saka ni cosine is 2. So, ibig sabihin, pwedeng apply na natin diretso yung half angle formula. Okay, so apply natin dito si half angle formula at the same time kay cosine 2x quantity squared din. So, ang mangyayari, we have sine 2x squared kasi yung given natin na angle is 2x ha. Okay, so sine squared 2x. Kung ang given dito na angle is 3x, of course, ilalagay nyo din dito is 3x. Okay, so since 2x din ilalagay natin dito. So, sine squared 2x is equal to 1 kasi di ba minus? So, minus din yan. Cosine of 2 times etong 2x na yan yung u natin. Ibig sabihin, yan yung angle natin na given. So, eto, galing siya dito. Okay, so 1 minus cosine of 2, given na yung 2, that is a constant. So, 2 times 2x over 2. So, that is equal to 1 minus cosine of 4x over 2. And then, si cosine squared 2x naman, yung pangalawang integrand, is 1 plus, kasi plus yung sa half angle formula ng cosine. Cosine squared 2x that is our u, right? Okay, so this is our u. 1 plus cosine of 2 times 2x over 2. So this is equal to 1 plus cosine of 4x kasi 2 times 2 is equal to 4 times x is 4x over 2. So ibig sabihin, ito yung gagamitin natin na half angle formula na isa-substitute natin dito sa given natin. So it implies that ito siya, ito yung given natin at saka ito yung first na integrand, papalitan natin siya ng 1 minus cosine 4x over 2. So, eto siya. And then, yung pangalawa naman, ang i-replace natin dyan is eto. So, nandito siya. So, that's why, naging 1 minus cosine 4x over 2 times 1 plus cosine 4x over 2. Eto, yan yung pinalit sa kanya. Eto naman is eto. Galing yan dito sa dalawa na to. Okay, so pwede nating ilabas yung constant dito. So we have 1 half here and 1 half dito. So 1 half times 1 half is equal to 1/4 times, we left with 1 minus cosine 4x times 1 plus cosine 4x. So sa special product, we have a minus b times a plus b. So, di ba ang product nito class is a squared minus b squared. Ibig sabihin, yung squared lang ni a at saka yung squared ni b. So, that's why ito naging 1 minus cosine squared 4x kasi negative, positive. So, ang squared ni 1 is 1, squared ni cosine 4x is cosine squared 4x. Basta magkaiba ng sign na kapag may isa nyo boya misurat, it's either sagnin na 2 na tagwin nyo sa yabaw sa 2. Ibarat bumya ka 2 sila nung makamultiply. Okay, so ilabas natin dito si 1/4. So, we have 1 minus cosine squared 4x dx. So, ito yung integrate natin. Okay, so ang mangyayari, diba, ito yung given natin. So, yung nakuha natin kanina is 1/4. Wait lang ha. So, 1/4. 1/4 to 1 over 1/4 times the integral of 1 minus cosine squared 4x dx. So, since si 1 minus cosine squared 4x is equivalent lang siya sa sine squared 4x, doon sa using the identity doon sa case 1, 'di ba? Okay, so that's why ito naging 1/4 times the integral of sine squared 4x. Kasi 'di ba yung original is ito. And then since ito is equivalent lang man dito, so that's why ito na lang. And then after that, gagamitan na naman natin to ulit ng half angle formula since ang exponent ng sine natin is an uneven number man. So, ang magiging half angle formula nito is ito siya. So, 1 minus cosine of 2 times 4x na to kasi 4x na yung given dito na angle. So, magiging 1 minus cosine of 8x kasi 2 times 4x. So, 1 minus cosine of 8x over 2. Nilagay din dito na u is 4x kasi given dito is 4x. So, we have 1/4 times the integral of eto, ni-replace na siya ng half angle formula na 1 minus cosine 8x over 2 dx. So, 1/4 times 1 half, that is equal to 1/8. Kasi 4 times 2, that is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. So, we left with 1 minus cosine 8x dx. So, we have 1/8. Integrate natin to isa-isa. 1, integral of 1 times dx is integral of dx. Integral of negative cosine 8x dx is this 1. So, integral of dx is x. Integral of cosine 8x is 1 over 8 sine 8x. So, di ba yung sinabi ko sa previous discussion natin sa anti-differentiation, kapag cosine or sine, kapag may formula dito, may angle dito, lagay nyo lang siya sa denominator, 1 over 8, and then kunin nyo lang kung ano yung integral nito and just copy the angle. So, ang integral ni sine, cosine kasi is sine. Since 8 yung angle natin dito, naging 1 over 8. Pwede din natin gamitin dito yung substitution, pero ito yung isang technique. Okay. And then, 1 over 8 sine 8x plus c. So, distribute natin si 8. So, 1 over 8 times x is 1 over 8x. 1 over 8 times 1 over 8 times sine x raised to 8 is 1 over negative 1 over 64 sine 8x plus c. Okay, another example ito sa Form 1, Case 2. So, remember, sa Case 2 is, ang gagamitin natin is the half angle formula. So, di ba sa half angle formula, Remember that the exponent of cosine and sine is 2. Or the degree of the sine and cosine is 2. So, ibig sabihin, kung 4 man yan or 6 or 8, kailangan yung given natin na trigonometric function is ma-express natin na dapat yung exponent niya is 2. Okay. So, di ba yung sa case 2, both m or n is an even positive integer or 0. So, ibig sabihin, ang m natin dito is equal to 4 and then n natin dito is equal to 0. Kasi walang nakalagay dito na cosine. Kasi ang exponent dito ni cosine is equal to 0. So, that's why n is equal to 0. So, before natin dito ma-apply or i-apply si half angle formula, etong given natin na sin 3x raised to 4 dx, exponent si 4 ha, is express muna natin siya as sin 3x squared quantity squared. Kasi eto, the same lang sila dito. The same lang siya dito. So, 2 times 2 that is equal to 4. So, kaya natin to in-express in this form kay para magamit natin or ma-apply natin dito yung half angle formula ng sine. Okay. So, sine 3x quantity squared, sine 3x squared quantity squared dx na. So, ibig sabihin, after that, pag naging 2 na yung exponent dito, pwede na natin gamitin si half angle formula. So, we have sine 3x squared is equal to 1 minus cosine of 2 times 3x over 2. So, si 2 is constant. Yung 3x na yan is yan yung given natin na angle. Yan. Given yan na angle. So, 2 times 3x that is equal to 6x. So, that's why naging sine of 3x quantity squared is 1 minus cosine 6x over 2. So, eto, palitan natin siya ng 1 minus 6x over 2 quantity squared pa rin. Eto siya galing doon. So, itong nasa loob ng parentheses, naging 1 minus cosine 6x over 2 after using the or applying the half angle formula. So, since eto, squared man, so 1 half times 1 half, kasi di ba ang ibig sabihin lang nito is dalawang 1 minus cosine 6x. So, 1 half times 1 half, that is equal to 1/4. So, ang ilalabas natin dito na constant sa integral sign is 1/4. So, we left with 1 minus cosine 6x quantity squared dx. And then, after that class, before ninyo siya ma-integrate, simply get the product of this by using the FOIL method. So, ganito yung pagkuha ng product nito. 1 minus cosine 6x quantity squared. Ibig sabihin lang nito, dalawang beses tayo magta-times ng 1 minus cosine 6x. 1 minus cosine 6x times 1 minus cosine 6x. So, using the vertical method, so we have 1 times 1 is 1. This one is negative cosine 6x. Ito naman is negative cosine 6x. Times natin yan. So, negative times negative is positive. Cosine 6x times cosine 6x is cosine squared 6x. Take note, hindi ninyo i-multiply yung angle nila. Kung dalawang beses kayo nag-times na ganito, parehas ng trigonometric function na given and the same ng angle, lagyan nyo lang ng square dito. Kung tatlong beses kayo nag-times, dito nyo lagyan ng 3. Okay? So, si angle is hindi nyo yan babaguhin. Hindi nyo yan ita-times. As is yung angle na yan. Constant siya kumbaga. So, we have 1. So, negative cosine 6x minus 6x. Cosine 6x is magiging negative 2 because they are like terms. So, negative 1 minus 1 is that is equal to negative 2 and then bring down this 1. So, eto na yung product niya. Ibig sabihin nun, eto, i-replace nyo is eto, and then eto yung kukunan ninyo ng integral. So, yung sagot nito sa example number 4 is andun sa handouts or sa module na binigay ko. Let's proceed to the Form 2 in integration of some trigonometric integrals. So, sa Form 2 and Form 3, actually parehas lang sila ng cases. Pero, ang given nga lang na trigonometric function is makaiba. So, ang tangent is parehas siya doon or parallel siya doon sa cotangent, and secant naman is parallel siya doon sa cosecant. So, which means, ang i-discuss lang natin is yung sa form 2, kasi yung sa form 3 is the same with the cases of the form 2. Okay, so form 2 is the tangent u raised to m and secant u raised to n du. So we have two cases also, kasi di ba parehas ng sa form 1, we have two cases, and then sa form 1, case 1 may dalawang condition, and then sa case 2 is isang condition lang. Okay, so dito sa case 1 sa form 2, if n is an even, okay, so ibig sabihin ang exponent ni secant is an even number, factor out secant squared. Ibig sabihin nun, if ang naging exponent ni secant is an even number, magpa-factor out tayo ng dalawang secant. Ibig sabihin, ang ifa-factor out natin is secant squared u du, and then change the remaining secant function of even powers to tangent using the identity secant squared is equal to tangent squared plus 1. Okay, so eto yung sa case 1 na gagamitin natin na identity, kasi ang ifa-factor out natin is dalawang secant. Ibig sabihin nun, dalawa yung ibabawas natin doon sa secant if yung power ng or exponent ng secant natin is an even number. Okay, for example, the given integrand is tangent 2x squared times secant 2x raised to 4 dx. So, since ang n natin dito, ang titingnan lang natin is yung exponent ni secant. Okay, so ang exponent kasi ni secant dito is 4, that is, which is 4 is an even number. So, ibig sabihin nun, magbabawas tayo dito ng dalawang secant. Ibig sabihin, ang babawas natin dito is secant squared. So, ibig sabihin, 4 minus 2, that is equal to 2 na lang. So, ibig sabihin, secant squared times the secant squared. So, ibig sabihin, magiging integral of tangent 2x quantity squared. So, si tangent 2x quantity squared is as is lang yan. And then si secant 2x raised to 4 is mahahati siya as secant 2x quantity squared times secant 2x quantity squared dx. Okay, so may dx dito sa last. So, eto yung binawas natin. Ibig sabihin, eto yung factor out natin dito. Ibig sabihin na sulibat tanusaya, so 4 minus 2, so 2. And then, ayabo may lambaw na 2 mambu. Kasi pag i-times natin to, secant 2x quantity squared multiplied itself is, pabalik siya dito sa product natin na secant 2x raised to the power of 4. So, ibig sabihin, this is the term na factor out natin, and this one is the remaining one. Okay. So, we have the integral of tangent 2x quantity squared times secant squared 2x times 1 plus tangent squared 2x. Kasi di ba ang sabi, okay, ang sabi sa case 1, if n is an even number, then factor out secant squared. After ninyong mag-factor out, change the remaining secant function. Okay, remember the secant function of even powers, dapat yan to tangent using the identity secant squared is equal to tangent squared plus 1, or pwede natin yung rearrange as 1 plus tangent squared u. Okay, so that's why eto si tangent squared 2x, eto siya si secant squared 2x na factor out natin, and then yung pinaka last na secant squared 2x is ni-replace natin siya as 1 plus tangent 2x quantity squared according to the condition in case 1. Okay, and then after that, after ninyong ma-change is, ang ililet natin na u is kung ano yung trigonometric function na ginamitan natin ng identity, or ni-replace natin ng identity. So, since ito yung pinalitan natin ng identity, si 1 plus tangent 2x quantity squared, ibig sabihin, ito din yung ililet natin na u. Okay, so take note, pag maglilet kayo ng u, yung trigonometric function lang alone, hindi kasali yung exponent niya. Okay, so yan. Tangent 1 plus tangent 2x quantity squared, or the same as tangent 2x quantity squared plus 1. The same lang ha, kasi positive naman to. So, let u is equal to tangent 2x and then the derivative of tangent is the secant squared, 2x, and then times the derivative of 2x is equal to 2. So that's why naging 2 ito. So divided both is by 2. So we have du over 2 is equal to secant squared 2x dx. Okay, so take note, parehas lang to doon sa integration by substitution. Kailangan lahat ng variables or given na integrand is ma-replace natin or ma-change natin in terms of variable u right after nating ma-satisfy yung conditions na given dito sa integration of trigonometric integrals. Okay, so rearrange lang natin to. Okay, so we have tangent 2x quantity squared. Okay, so bring down natin siya. And then eto, pinauna ko lang dito ko siya nilagay, and then nilagay ko sa dulo sa secant squared 2x para maidikit siya doon sa dx para ito yung papalitan natin ng du over 2. Okay, so since ang gilet natin na u is si tangent, ibig sabihin nun, etong tangent 2x quantity squared, magiging u ito, and then yung exponent niya 2 is galing dito, and then 1 is 1 pa rin yan, plus si tangent 2x, replaced it by variable u, and then si 2 dito, ayun siya, times etong secant squared 2x dx is yan yung naging du over 2 natin. So that's why naging du over 2. Okay, so galing yan siya. Ito naman is ito. Then this one is ito siya. Okay, so factor out natin or ilabas natin sa integral sign si constant na 1/2. So ito, 1/2 times the integral of u squared times 1 is u squared. U squared times u squared is equal to u to the power of 4. So, okay na pwedeng diretso mag-distribute kasi ang exponent naman natin dito is equal to 1. Okay, so mas madali na itong ma-integrate using the usual integration. So, we have 1/2. Integral of this is u to the power of 3 over 3. And then u to the 4 integral niya is u to the 5 over 5. And do not forget the constancy at the end of the integration. Okay, so therefore, kailangan sa final answer, si variable u, i-replace natin siya kung ano yung gilet natin kanina. So, since u is equal to tangent 2x cube, okay, so 2 times 3, that is equal to 6. 1/2 times 1 over 5 is 1 over 10. Tangent, replace u by tangent 2x, and then, yung 5 na yan is, dito siya nilagay, plus the constancy. So, therefore, this is the integral of our given integrand. Sa case 2 ng form 2, if m is an odd, kanina is if n or the exponent of the second is an even. So, dito naman sa case 2, ang titingnan natin na exponent is yung exponent ni tangent. So, if m is an odd, factor out tangent u, secant u du. So, ibig sabihin, if naging odd yung exponent ni tangent, ang i-factor out natin or yung ibabawas natin is si tangent at saka si secant. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, babawasan natin si tangent ng isa, babawasan din natin si secant ng isa if yung exponent ni tangent is an odd number. And then, change the remaining tangent function. Ang papalitan lang natin is yung tangent function of even powers to secant using the identity tangent squared, this is u, tangent squared u is equal to secant squared u square, secant squared u minus 1. So, eto din yung gagamitin natin na identity sa case 2. For example, the integral of tangent 2x cube times secant 2x cube dx. So, sa case 2, remember, kukonsider natin or titingnan natin is yung exponent ni tangent. So, since m is equal to 3, so, it implies that satisfy siya sa case 2. So, pag naging m is an odd number, dalawa yung babawasan natin. Babawasan natin si tangent, babawasan din natin si secant. Okay, so ang mangyayari is ganito. So, eto, pag binawasan natin si tangent cube ng isa, dalawa na lang yung matitira. The same with the second cube, babawasan natin yun ng isa, then dalawa na lang din yung matitira. So, etong sinulat ko dito sa first is, eto yung binawas natin kay tangent na isa, then eto naman yung binawas natin kay second na isa, and then eto yung mga remaining or eto yung natira after tayong nag-factor out. So, tangent 2x times tangent cube 2x is, squared 2x rather, is babalik tayo doon sa tangent cube 2x. The same with second 2x multiplied by second squared 2x. Ang product niyan is magiging second 2x cube. Okay. So, take note, eto yung mga binawas ko, and then eto din yung remaining na function. Okay. So, after ninyong mag-factor out, yung remaining daw na tangent function sa case 2 is of even powers. Ibig sabihin si tangent, yung papalitan natin into into second rather, using the identity tangent squared u minus second squared u equals to second squared u minus 1. Okay, so since eto si tangent squared, ibig sabihin even yung power niya, papalitan natin yan. Okay, so bring down lang natin si tangent 2x. Bring down lang din si second 2x. Etong si tangent squared 2x, naging second squared 2x minus 1 using this one. Okay, so eto si tangent, si second, eto yung equivalent niya. So that's why naging second squared 2x minus 1. And then si second squared 2x dx is remain lang siya. And then after ninyong mag-replace or mag-change using the identity, ilalet ninyo na u is yung pinalitan ninyo. So, diba, since ito yung pinalitan natin, yung trigonometric function dito is yun yung ilalet natin na u. So, we can let u is equal to second. Okay. So, derivative of second is second 2x tangent 2x times the derivative of their angle na 2x, so that is equal to 2. So, divided both sides by 2. So, we obtain du over 2 is equal to second 2x tangent 2x dx. Okay? So, balik tayo dito para ma-replace na natin to in terms of variable u. Okay? So, rearrange lang natin. Unahin ko itong isulat dito. Ito siya. Ito naman is ito siya. And then, sa second 2x, dito ko nilagay, ini-rearrange lang. And then, si tangent 2x naman is dito ko siya nilagay. And then, si dx is, ayan pa rin siya. Okay, kaya ko pinagsama si second and tangent kasi, at saka si dx kasi yan yung papalitan natin ng du. So, replace this one by u, and then si exponent na 2 is ayun siya, and then minus 1 dito. And then, okay, so yan siya. And then, si second 2x quantity squared, replace this 1 by u. And then, yung exponent na 2 is, ayun. And then, this term, itong second 2x, or this expression, second 2x tangent 2x dx, yan yung magiging du over 2 natin. Okay? So, factor out natin, or ilabas natin sa integral sign si 1/2 kasi 1/2 is just a constant number. So, we have the integral of, pwede na tayong mag-distribute dito, or the DPM, using the DPMA, u squared times u squared is u to the 4, u squared times negative 1 is negative u squared. So, we left with du here. So, we have 1/2. The integral of u to the 4 is u to the 5 over 5 minus integral of this is u to the power of 3 over 3 plus the constant c. So, therefore, the integral of this is 1/2 times 1 over 5 is 1 over 10 kasi 2 times 5 is 10. And then 1 times 1 is 1. Then, replace u by, this is second. Okay, this is second. This one is also second. Kasi di ba ang gilet natin na u class is second 2x man. So, we have second 2x raised to the power of 5 minus 1 over 6 kasi 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 3 is 6. So, second 2x cube kasi cube yung naging exponent doon plus the constant c. So, this is the integral of this given function.